right now. I'm going to just start. We've already started recording, but I'm going to... No, I got to introduce everybody.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Will There Be Cake?
Oh, crap.
I am your host, Robert Lamb, and with me, as always, Amber Simpson.
What?
And once again, we would like to welcome a very special guest,
Ooh.
Nick Ott.
Thank you.
Solid. Today is June 15th, and it's a very special day, like every day that we celebrate is special. But why is it so special? What day are we celebrating, Amber Simpson?
We are celebrating Nature Photography Day.
Wowzers.
Are you guys
Whoa.
nature photographers?
No, but
Get
I've
the
heard
fuck out.
of I've heard of nature photographers, and they sound pleasant.
Oh,
Super pleasant.
Yeah.
super.
Can you name one nature photographer?
No, I could look it up if you need, if you need me to.
I mean, I got a phone.
I mean, yeah,
I can go take a picture of your
Myself.
front yard.
I do. You've taken pictures of nature?
Yeah, I take.
Actually, I do have a nature folder in my.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa.
I have
Where
a
do you
nature
go?
Album and
I think that makes you the most nature photographer.
I'm the most qualified in this room to talk about nature photography.
You
That's
are.
true. All right. Well,
Wow.
take it away, Nick.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you get a little nature parks and parks around like Wheaton Island and stuff like that around
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I do take pictures there, like when I go to Sawgrass or Wheaton
Mhm.
Island or Boyd Hill. And
Basically, if there's no humans in my photo,
Yeah.
it goes into the nature category.
Really? So if you take a picture
Of
of
my couch,
a
yes.
crock pot,
Yeah.
you're like, that's nature,
part of
baby.
nature.
That's nature.
I mean, you throw it
These
outside.
carrots, yeah, these carrots are from nature, baby.
I mean, those are from nature.
That's true.
No, but like, what determines if it's nature or if it's not nature?
I think nature, it's got to be like trees, mountains. It's got to be something
Outdoors.
outdoorsy.
Okay,
And
outdoors.
I think for most of it, when I picture nature photography, it's like no like buildings or anything in the picture
Yeah.
too.
Can people be in the picture?
I
It's a
mean,
tough one.
I mean, I guess they're animals.
Right.
But
I think if they're not like
I don't
what,
think it
what the
counts.
picture is focused on. Like I have a picture on my phone. Like I favorited some of my recent nature photography
Ew.
pictures. But I think if the people are not like the main point. So like I have a picture of a sunset and there's some people walking by.
Yeah, I think that kind of counts.
So as long as they're not
the focal point.
They're not the
yeah.
focus. Yeah.
And I would say the same with like if you had like a building or something, or like a shack. Like sometimes you'll see like those
Yeah.
pictures of like just a shack in the woods or something like
Like a
that, but
pretty
there's a lot of
shack and-
nature
yeah,
around
yeah.
it. Yeah. I mean, the shack, I
So
guess
it can't
is-
be a well-kept building, but it can be.
it can be a
structure.
shack. It can be a shack.
It could be a shack. That's
a shack
it.
or a
That's as far
shed.
as it goes.
Shed or shack. That's
shed
it. Shed shack.
She shed shack.
She shed shack.
She shed
she
shack by the
seashore.
seashore.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Now the seashore would definitely be nature.
Right. And the she shells.
Seashells.
And
She shells.
she, as long as she is not the
But
focus.
also male shells too. Let's not be
Right.
sexist.
he shells.
He shells.
shells.
He shells.
Oh
She
my
shells. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what really like constitutes as like pure like nature
Well, 'cause,
photography.
like
but
National Geographic has had some of their cover photos be the people are clearly the focal point, but
They
it's
are.
not
that's
not
right.
necessarily a building.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
I don't know
I
that
don't know.
National Geographic is like the standard. I mean, they're clearly the standard, but
I don't know what you want from me, all right? I don't know. No.
Really?
No,
I mean-
I do agree with that though. Like sometimes it is
But
like
it's usually like
people-
an indigenous tribe or something like that.
That's the
Yeah,
truth. They're not taking
yeah.
pictures of like a metropolitan area, are they? Like
Right.
with like
No,
like New York
not really.
City or
Not
something.
unless it's
Unless it's
saying
a
how we're
special
killing
or-
nature.
Or
Yeah,
or
pretty
if it's
much.
about like a subject or whatever,
Right.
but then I don't think you consider that picture to be a nature photo.
Right.
No.
Although I will say that the last, like I like watching like Planet Earth and like those kind of
Yeah.
documentaries. Planet Earth 2, the last
so good.
episode is about city life and
Right.
wildlife
Ooh. I
living
didn't
in
watch
city.
Planet Earth too.
Mhm.
Not as
It's
good as
so
the
good.
first one. It kind of
Of course
falls apart at the end,
Of course.
but
Yeah.
I like it. It's still like it's a good, decent premise.
Right.
Yeah.
So I cook a lot, and I love putting like Disney Plus Nature or Planet Earth or
Yeah.
Blue Planet, those kinds of things on.
Yeah, Blue
Nice.
Planet's
And
good
I
too.
don't know if it's because I like the nature part, like I do like nature and animals, or
Mm.
just David Attenborough's voice. Like,
He's a
Yeah.
solid. Yeah, he's a solid voice.
so good,
He's
national treasure, and he's up there. So when we lose him,
I
it's
know.
gonna be.
Right?
Yeah,
Don't
it's
Don't
gonna
even
be
talk
sad.
to me. Don't even talk to me. That
Who are they
day.
gonna get to be the narrator?
Morgan
now?
Freeman's almost gone too, so
That's true.
I don't even know.
Find someone.
It's just a part of nature, I guess. Yeah, but I do like watching all those nature documentaries too.
Yeah.
Like I
When do you
like
normally watch them?
When?
When? Tuesdays at 8.
No, I mean you don't
No.
like sit down. Okay, this weekend I'm going to sit down and watch Blue Planet. Like for me, it's when I'm cooking. That's when I watch nature.
Oh, really?
stuff.
No, see, I usually watch them at night when I'm like about to go to sleep or something. Like
Right.
I'll put on an
That's a good
episode or
time.
something
That's-
and just watch it. It's kind of really like peaceful.
Okay.
And it kind of like
That's
lets me
usually
kind
when
of
I do it,
relax.
or it'll be like my background show. So
Right.
like I'll be high and playing video games, and it'll be perfect.
But see, like sometimes like I do
Mhm.
put on, and it's not just like with these, but like any documentary I'll put on, sometimes I'll just be like, I'll just let it play and I'll listen to it and stuff. But when you start seeing those like gorgeous views on planet Earth, I'm like, I gotta watch this. I mean, I love islands. Like this is
Yeah.
awesome. And I'll just sit there and I'll watch it.
So
But-
what about like Hostile Planet? So that's a nature one. Have you seen Hostile Planet?
No.
I
before?
haven't. No.
So it's a nature one, but it's about kind of the
Like Mars and
the
stuff?
hostile part of nature
Oh,
where it's
okay.
animals killing each other. And
Oh,
I
shit.
cannot watch that one
It's
at
brutal.
all.
especially if you're cooking.
Like,
You're
a lot of
like, I'm
times-
about to
yeah.
eat
Well,
this
that's the
shit
best
right
time.
now.
That's the best time to watch it.
Well, like in like Planet Earth, you'll see, oh, the predator's going for the prey, and the prey gets away, and everybody's like, oh, yay, prey. But then the predator has to starve. In this one, the predator wins,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel nearly as good, even though they
It's
gotta
the
eat.
nature. Yeah, they have to
So,
eat. I think
I don't know.
Jerry Seinfeld has that bit where, like, when you're watching, like, Animal Planet or something like that, like, sometimes they'll do, like, the documentary will be about, like, the antelope, and you'll be like, run, antelope, don't get eaten, like, go, go,
Right.
go. He's like, but then next week they do, like, a story on, like, the lions. You're like, come on, catch that antelope, you gotta
Right.
eat and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're rooting for whoever the story's
That's a
about,
good, that's
or, like,
funny.
whatever the point of view is,
Seinfeld
anyways.
said that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really funny. I'm surprised.
I know,
Seinfeld
right?
said that.
I don't. I love his show. I love his show. Not such a fan of the stand-up, but yeah, he
Airline
said
food
that.
is the only thing I could remember from his stand.
What's the deal with nature?
What's the deal? I'm trying to think of the last nature documentary I watched. It was on Netflix. It's kind of newer. I think it's called Our Planet.
There's one called Life that was pretty good. There's Blue Planet, Planet Earth 1 and 2. There might be an Our Planet. I don't remember.
No, that's not it, because it was like a big name person that was narrating it, and this
Mm.
one was not him.
There's a few that have been released on
There's a lot on
like
Netflix.
and stuff, and then
Yeah.
now Discovery
Disney-
Channel's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, exactly.
Yeah, so
Yep.
there's a ton.
There's a
Yep.
ton.
But like for me, like I liked Planet Earth 2 because it showed a lot more, a lot of different animals.
Right.
Whereas like I've seen so much shit about like polar bears and penguins. Like show me something
Yeah.
else.
Well, I mean, we have Busch Gardens, we have SeaWorld, we have Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
we
we
can
got a lot
see
here.
all of those if
Right.
we want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
see
played out.
like a narwhal
Oh.
or an okapi or something.
yeah, that's what I want.
I found
That's what I wanna
it.
see.
It's called One Strange Rock, and it's
Oh, I haven't
Will
seen that one.
Will Smith hosts it. It's actually pretty good.
Not really.
Yeah.
Ah,
And it's
I have
like
not seen that
there's
one.
like episodes of it. It's not like one long thing.
Hmm.
It's good.
Was-
I watched
You
it.
said Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Was that After Earth?
What? No.
Okay.
Fuck you. Hate you. All right, so you want some nature photography day
I love
facts?
some nature
Yeah.
photography.
Yeah.
fucking
Give me
nature
those fucking facts, man.
photography day.
I'm ready to learn about some nature.
All right. It was created by the North American Nature Photography Association to promote the enjoyment of nature photography and to explain how images are used to advance the cause of conservation and protect plants, wildlife, and landscapes both locally and worldwide.
Of course,
First one.
NANFA.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with NAMPA.
No, of course
but
not.
NANFA.
Nampa.
Nampa.
No, Nampa.
Nampa.
It was the first one was in 2006, and Nampa placed the holiday in the McGraw Hills reference work chase calendar of events, and a bunch of like media and websites like noticed, and since then people discovered like all types of ways to celebrate the day.
I mean, like, we talked a lot about like documentaries, but do you ever like look up actual just photos, like still photos and stuff?
My favorite thing to watch is like my Apple TV when it goes to sleep and it has
And
that
it has that
slideshow.
picture.
Yeah. There's been so many times when I've been like, where is that? And I'll like Google a list of like the things.
Well, there's one
The list of
trivia on Mondays I used to go to where like one of the questions would always be like a nature question, and a lot of times they would post a picture of like just a nature park, and you had to guess where it was. And like sometimes we would get it because I'm like, looks like Yosemite. Never been there, but I know that rock. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's either Yellowstone or Yosemite, but like they would put some other ones up there, like Mammoth Caves and stuff like that. So I was like, they're pretty cool. But again, like I don't just look them up online.
Well, I get all of my nature photography news from Facebook, like everybody else.
They're always in memes with like an inspirational quote on them.
But there's some really good nature photography contests. Like there's some humor contests where like you'll have a squirrel scratching his balls or a giraffe kicking a lion in the balls. They're all balls. They're all balls. Just like animals getting hit in the testicles. It's pretty much all animal balls, which are super humorous. But yeah. I would recommend for sure.
I mean, I think it's cool, and like, I mean, photography in general is like cool. I mean, I took a photography course, and I remember one of the pictures I had to take was like you had to do a black and white photo of something in nature. And I went down to Sawgrass Park, and I took it of like one of those big like yellow spiders. I forget what they're called, but the
banana spiders.
Stuff. They might be a banana spider.
Big black
they're
and
really
yellow,
big. Yeah, black and yellow. Yeah. And I took a picture of that.
Scary.
And it came out.
I don't like spiders.
No?
Nice. No, they're scary.
I don't mind spiders.
No.
I mean, I don't want it crawling on me, but like they don't creep me out as much as just cockroaches creep me out. I don't know why.
Ooh, cockroaches.
Yeah, I don't. now you're like,
nature
I
could
get
go
you.
away.
I think I did a photography contest when I was younger at the Florida Aquarium. They like gave you like a instant camera and you went around and took pictures, and then they like picked the pick. I didn't win, but it was cool.
You should have
That's
though.
so cool.
Yeah. And it probably was around Nature Photography Day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you ever wonder if like nature photography or like our technological advances in photography are ruining nature itself?
You mean the cameras, or
like okay, so yeah, no, that was a super vague question. But so you go to SeaWorld, right? And people are like, okay, we have these orcas here.
Oh yeah, like
to show these creatures are amazing. We have to preserve them in the wild. Do you ever wonder if people are like, well, fuck it, we got these orcas right here. Why do we need the ones in the wild?
Go in the ocean
like,
and stuff.
Why would I need nature out there when I have all of this beautiful nature photography that I can do AI or whatever it is right here in front of me?
When it comes to animals, I think one of the things that like attracts a lot of people is seeing animals in their natural habitat. Whereas like when you see like orcas in a tank and stuff like that, like a lot of times their fins like fold over, and they say like that's because they're in captivity, not necessarily being out in the wild.
So if you have the VR, the virtual reality, you can swim with orcas.
Oh really?
I
mean, that's
like,
what you're saying. If that was the case,
yeah, if you could virtual reality swim with orcas, the orca itself, for your enjoyment in that moment,
you
is
can't
not
necessarily do that in real life, though. So,
right. But in the future, he's saying, right?
No. I mean,
you can't do it right now. You can't do it in real life.
Right.
But
you can't swim with an orca
you can do it now virtually.
Right.
If it's that good, where it feels like you're actually swimming with them, do you need them?
So
is there a point where
why do you want to kill orcas, man?
It could be anything, but is there a point where nature photography, natural virtual reality gets so good that
but I think about
caring
that
about actual nature?
I think about that when it comes to everything. Bill Burr has that whole special or like that whole like segment about talking about robots and how like if you could make a robot, male or female, like if you're a male and you want a female robot, here's this robot that'll like fuck you whenever you want,
right.
And like, why do you need a real woman then? Like, I think there's still going to be like that aspect of people.
But we don't
wanting
need
the real
animals to repopulate the earth.
No, but you need animals for certain things, though. Like,
you do.
I mean,
you do.
It kind of sucks because
especially bees.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big things. People used to hate bees. Like people hated bees. Now everybody's posting about how much they love bees on Facebook. And it's like 10 years ago, you fucking hated them. I
got this bee sting. Lucky me.
Yeah, but people understand now that it's because of the fact that they're important to the environment, and a lot of animals are, and they find that about like sharks now too. Like all the shark finning that's going on, killing the sharks and stuff. It's like when we kill all the sharks, like that's gonna really ruin the oceans.
Yeah, I mean, I think as time goes by, like more and more people are becoming more nature aware and how important nature is.
I mean, definitely.
In some aspects, there's a lot of people who are still all about like money and.
Right. Well, that's the thing is you're always going to have like the people who want to start fracking.
But I think there's way
parks.
More people who are on the side of nature nowadays.
Those people.
Frack them, man. Frack them.
Mother frackers.
Mother frackers.
No, but it's true. I do think that there's something about being in actual nature, whereas like I'm not a very like spiritual person, but a lot of people are. And a lot of people will go out and they just go for a walk in the woods or sit out there and just meditate.
I'm part Native American, and I have a lot of my family members do meditation, and we used to have powwows, and you thank Mother Earth and all that. So it's been a big thing in my life, nature.
I will say that like after walking across the country.
Oh,
like,
jeez, I forgot you did that
one.
Holy shit.
There was a lot of great like a lot of nature that I saw that was just like mind blowing, especially like in Montana and Washington with the mountains and the trees and even the snow and stuff. But my favorite day of walking, like throughout that 6 months, 3 weeks that I walked, my favorite day was one day when I was walking through Missouri, and it was on a dirt path. And it was just through like this dirt path went all the way like down. It followed like this river. I think it was like I don't remember what river it was, but it followed it, and then it went, or it was in Nebraska, and it went into Missouri. And I followed it for one day. It took all day of like 10 hours of walking, and it was the most peaceful moment. There's no traffic. I wasn't on a highway. I was just on a nature trail for like 10 hours, and I saw turkeys, I saw deer, I saw like all kinds of animals, and I was like, this is pretty awesome. And it was like so quiet and peaceful, amazing. And that was probably my favorite day of walking.
That's awesome.
And that's something I think you can only get like when you're away from like the city life sometimes.
Right. How do you keep that memory from fading?
I smack myself in the head every 4 days.
He recorded a podcast about it.
That's true.
He's got pictures.
Yeah.
Because I love nature, and I constantly find myself taking pictures of nature when I go on like vacations and stuff. And then I never look at the pictures.
Yeah, you never look. That's the thing.
I just have them.
Well, that was one thing on my walk is my parents kept saying, take more pictures. I post them to Facebook, show everybody what you're seeing and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but for me, I didn't want to stop every like hour and take a picture. I was like, that was kind of taking away from my experience. I wanted to just be out there.
Taking a piece of it away from it with you.
Yeah, it was like something I had to do now. Like, oh, now I have to stop. Oh, there's a pretty view. Let me stop and take a picture. I knew I was never going to look at it again. I was just going to post it for people. So I would do it every once in a while. But like when I was on a really peaceful walk, I wouldn't take any pictures.
Oh yeah, you really didn't post that many pictures.
I never tried to post because a lot of it was just pictures of trees and mountains. I'm like, once you see like I'm in the same state for like a month, like I'm not going to show a lot.
I think that's one of the beautiful parts about nature photography is anybody can do it. You can take your smartphone out into your front yard, take a picture of a blade of grass, and if you have the focus right, it looks really cool and really peaceful.
Especially now with like cameras like being on your phone now and like the
man.
drone, when you see like those overhead shots, especially on like those documentaries now.
I don't know how they did
iPhones
that. Like,
do the portrait mode.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did like in the old documentaries how they had those drone footage. Like, did you have a really
that thing probably cost like $1,000. Yeah,
with a camera on it. How did you do this?
Well, now they got like those little cameras that like are like the drones, but they go like right up to the sloth swimming across like the river and shit. It's like right in its face. I'm like,
some of these pictures of like when they do like bug parts of the documentary,
of
bugs, and
they see like the microscope. Yeah, I'm like,
how do you get a camera inside of a beehive? That makes no sense to me.
They're just shoving like a pole up there.
The camera's like, it's day 96. The bees think of one of their own.
That's what well, and another thing I saw was about a guy who was, I think this was on like YouTube or something, where he was doing like nature photography, and it might have been for one of the big documentaries, but he stayed in like this little habitat in the Arctic waiting to take a picture of a polar bear, and he said, I would just be out here for days, just waiting for a polar bear to walk by.
Yeah, just getting snow blind.
Yeah, just waiting.
The shit people will do first.
Yeah. For photos. So like these people photos. Are like, I mean, they're hardcore.
Sickos.
Yeah, real crazies. Wow.
Oh,
all right. Well, so like that's how do you celebrate? You watch.
I mean, you take your camera out and you take pictures. And if you don't have a camera or you're pulling a Robert and you just want to enjoy the nature, do that. Go to a local park, take a hike,
take one picture, and then that's it.
Even go out in your garden and pay attention to the little things like little insects or flowers that are blooming or whatever. Or you could take a nature photography class.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's true.
Or look up pictures.
I mean, there's so many pictures now that you can find like online that are just
so many
like,
pictures
really...
of lightning. It makes no sense.
I know.
Of lightning?
Of lightning. Yeah.
I love lightning.
Get that pictures of lightning. Come on,
there's a lot.
I have a picture of lightning. It's not very good because it was like out of my car window, but it's still a good picture.
You know what I do?
It's hard to capture lightning.
Oh yeah. I'll just take a video and then I'll rewatch the video and screenshot.
Yeah,
it.
screenshot the.
That's the only way.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. You have to have one of those really fast cameras, like trying to take a bunch of pictures.
Just the time it takes for you to actually press the button.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's not. Yeah, slow.
Do you guys have either a favorite nature photo that you've taken or a favorite memory of nature that you've seen that kind of sticks out?
While Robert answers, I'm going to look through my nature folder.
I will say that there's. I don't know if I have
besides
like an
that walk.
Yeah, besides the walk. No, but I will say. I mean, I was in Africa. I took some
true.
really cool pictures of like elephants and shit.
Yeah, you were in Africa.
But still, they're not like as great as like I've seen online. Like people have taken some really good, like professionals take really good shots. I have like one video of like elephants crossing the road, like a whole herd of elephants, and I was like, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Some
good.
pictures, but other than that,
I don't know if this counts as nature, but like I was at a petting zoo. I was at a petting zoo in Animal Kingdom, and it's this goat sticking his tongue out at me.
Oh my god, that's so good.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like nature could just be anything. I have first my animals and nature folder was like it was basically anything with animals or nature in it, and then it became just a dogs folder. So I had to make a separate dogs folder, not just of my dogs, but of any dogs. If there's a dog out there, I'm gonna take a picture of it. So
put it on there. What about you, Amber Simpson?
I think I have a few. Some of my favorite like memories of like visually seeing nature, and I have some videos too, like kayaking on the Weeki Wachee River, and like like having the manatees right underneath me and stuff. That's always cool. I love seeing dolphins, no matter when, where, or how. Like I have to drive over the fucking bridge every day to get to work, and I fucking hate it because sometimes it'll take me hours. But if I just see a dolphin,
those dolphins, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, it makes it worth it. I'm like, all right, today's gonna be a good day. But I think my favorite is like when you're in a plane, like
taking like the overhead shots. Of,
not even just the pictures, just like seeing it. Like I love looking out of a plane. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing how like
the mountains and stuff. Like when I was going to Seattle, what's the name of that big mountain in Washington?
Mount.
Oh man, my buddy just climbed.
It's not a.
I forget.
I don't want to say it 'cause I'm going to sound like an idiot.
He's so mad for me not remembering it.
But anyway, it's huge, and you can see it like clear as fucking day in a plane, and you're flying over it. And I'm like, holy shit, that's so fucking badass.
It's wild.
And I took a picture, and at the time I was playing the new Zelda game on the Switch, and I was like, this makes me feel...
Mount Rainier, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome looking from a plane.
It was right at the tip of his tongue. Yeah. No, I agree with all that. I think there's something like even when I go to somebody's house, like I always like seeing like what kind of like pictures they have up, and whenever it's like a nature photo, for some reason it makes me like I stare at it longer than if it's just like a picture of something random.
Trust them more because they have.
I'm just like I'm like this person.
What if it's one of those inspirational ones like motivation?
No. Live, laugh,
God,
love. No, thanks.
I live, laugh.
No, I always like for me like I love islands. So whenever somebody has like a picture of like just islands,
Man
or
is
like
an island.
Yeah.
Which one?
Man is an island.
Oh, man.
I think that was a poem.
Oh, okay.
You're like, oh yeah. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Sure. I mean, if he lays out in the water, he is. So I don't know. For some reason, I always like those kind of like photos or even paintings. Like if it's like a painting like Monet and stuff like that, or like the lilies and stuff like that. I love those.
Anybody. Doesn't have to be a big name
No,
artist.
it has to be. Well, that's the. I'm trying to pull from my very limited knowledge of nature photography or like paintings, and that's the
Bob
one
Ross,
I can do. Bob Ross is a good one.
Little Happy Trees.
Ooh,
That's a
Bob
good one. Little
Ross.
House.
That's a
the
good
best
way to
nature
celebrate.
painter of all time.
Yeah, can't beat Bob Ross.
Can't. Don't even try.
Not even Monet.
Nope.
Is he still alive?
What? No.
Okay, sorry.
Who?
Bob Ross.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Monet.
Well, duh.
I was like, no.
No, Bob Ross is not.
No, he
Sadly.
died
a few years ago. Not too
it
long ago. Right?
Yeah. I think it was like 5 years ago. No,
It's not too long.
I guess.
That's not long.
All right. Cool.
All right. Okay, I
soon.
got a nature fact for you.
Can't wait.
Ooh.
The largest flower in the world is the Rafflesia arnoldi. I probably butchered the fuck out of that.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, it's found in the rainforest in Indonesia, and the flower can grow up to 3 feet.
3 feet.
Yeah.
Looks like a vial bloom.
Across.
A vial plume.
A vial plume.
Across.
Yeah, vial plume. Yes.
Across. So I was going to say 3 feet tall.
3 feet high. Whoa. Sunflowers, I think, beat that one.
3 feet across. That's huge.
That's what he said. Vileplume.
Is it
Pokemon?
Is it a carnivorous plant? Because that would be terrifying.
No.
A 3-foot flower carnivorous plant.
This isn't Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah,
like
that
one of
would
those
be terrifying.
Venus flytraps for people.
Oh my god,
yeah.
those are the best.
Yeah. I used to have one, and it would catch flies.
Me
and just
too.
like.
I think I like the pitcher plants more.
But it's like weird. Why is there a carnivorous plant? That's
Yeah,
weird.
it shouldn't be a thing.
There's a lot of herbivorous animals. So
What?
why not?
Herbivorous.
Herbivorous?
Herbivores.
Herbivorous.
Herbivorous.
Yeah. I know. You just said it.
It's
weird.
a hard.
Slow.
He was slowly pronouncing it. And he did better than I did.
I hadn't heard that word before I said it either. It's okay. It's made up. All words are made up.
Wait. You said of animals?
no,
There's
plants.
a bunch of herbivorous animals.
Oh.
Animals that eat plants. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that there would be plants that also eat animals.
But I think there's like just one. I think it's
It's
just
just the
that
one.
one.
No, there's the pitcher plant.
The pitcher plant.
Yeah, the
it
pitcher
eats
plant.
ants.
Oh, the one that
insects.
like eats the ant,
It's-
like they
yeah.
fall in it or whatever.
It's a victory bell.
Yeah,
A
victory bell.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, Pokemon.
There's a lot of
That's
Pokemon
right.
that are based on real things.
Yeah, there.
Even chandeliers now.
And trash.
Even
piles
swords.
of trash.
Yeah.
There's a sword Pokemon.
Oh,
That makes
God.
no sense.
Can't wait for
But
Pokemon Day.
Anyways.
Okay.
All
Is that a
right.
thing?
I think it is,
Yo.
but I think it went past. We started after.
It's okay.
Yeah, next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
We'll still be doing this, hopefully.
So
As long as you listeners keep listening.
keep
That's
But
right.
we got to find out, before we sign off, most important question, do you have a cake on Nature Photography Day?
Yeah, you could get your picture printed on the cake.
Wait, your nature picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just like your face. I love nature.
I don't know.
Get a cake, a tree cake, or like a lily pad cake
Yeah, shaped.
shaped like a lily pad.
Get a cake made out of manure and put it in your garden.
Ew.
Ew.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're not gonna eat it,
Yeah, I know. It sounds gross at
do
first.
whatever. We'll wait till I finish my sentence, guys.
Ew. Oh wait, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, make a cake for your plants outside. Make a
Deserve to
cake for any
celebrate.
pets you
I
have.
mean,
Bring a cake to that goat that gave you a raspberry.
they'll eat anything.
That's
They'll
true.
eat trash. They'll probably eat your manure cake that you got.
Probably.
I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I think you can have a cake today. I don't
Okay.
see why not.
All right.
Especially after you're like out in the heat. If you're like doing a hike or something and taking pictures,
Ice cream cake.
come back and get an ice cream cake.
Yeah, ice
What?
cream
Yeah.
cake, my fave.
There you go.
Let's do it.
All right.
Why not?
Sounds good. I guess that does it for this episode of Will There Be Cake. Thanks again for joining us, Nick.
It's always a pleasure.
I was going to say it was a pleasure, but I don't want to copy you. It was
Pleasure is mine, damn
It
it.
was fun. Thanks for joining. For Amber and for myself, that does it for this episode. We will see you guys tomorrow.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.